This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everybody, and
Yes,
happy
sir.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Same shocker.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking to see who I can pinch.
Okay.
Pinch.
You know, I
am wearing green, right?
Yes.
Anthony pinched me, and he pinched me in all gray.
Huh?
Yeah, he was wearing all
He
gray.
just wanted an excuse
Where did
to
this?
give you a
Megan,
little
one of our
love.
producers, said that. I've never heard that term in my life.
Neither have I.
Pinch someone when you're not wearing
Where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Yeah,
How
you
did you
should
not
know
know
that.
I
this?
heard. Wait, kiss me. I'm Irish, but that's a T-shirt. But I've never heard pinch
You
me.
pinch if they're not wearing green.
I've never heard that.
I've
in my
never heard
life.
that either.
Well,
Oh, then you
I don't
two
know.
had your ears clogged.
He was
Or-
on the north
Everyone
side.
said
Or me and
I
Al
was further
were
south.
hammered.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
I mean, we weren't there. Okay, anyways, Ben Affleck is setting the record straight about a few things. First, Ben told The Hollywood Reporter he does not blame his ex-wife, Jennifer Gardner, for his drinking. Back in 2021, Ben told Howard Stern he'd probably still be drinking if he was still married to her. But now, Ben says that was misinterpreted and used for clickbait. He said he alone was to blame for his behavior and that he was trying to fill a hole with his drinking. Ben also cleared up this viral interaction with J-Lo at the Grammys. He said he told her that he was going to, quote unquote, slide away as soon as the cameras started rolling, so the focus would only be on her. But J-Lo said, she said, you better bleep and not leave. Is that, are we buying that?
I don't know. I think maybe something close to that, but Erica, you're making a face. What do you think?
Can I say this without any judgment?
None of you guys were buying that.
No, Ben doesn't seem like a happy person in any context. He
Why?
seems.
Why is he always?
I don't know. I want to get to the root of why he's not happy, but he just seems perpetually miserable. And I'm glad that he clarified that, because I'm sure that there are issues. There's obviously some substance abuse issues, but it doesn't matter who he's with. It doesn't matter which Jennifer. That's just who he is.
Yeah, he seems to take himself very seriously, right? Or maybe he's shy from the cameras. I know certain actors, just because you're an actor and you're on camera, it doesn't equate to you loving public attention.
Right.
Maybe he just doesn't like public attention. What I don't like, though, is the fact that these media outlets used clickbait for his drinking and his marriage. Like, I get it, clickbait works, and at the end of the day, this is capitalism. But when you're messing with someone's sobriety and printing things that could or could not be true, to me, I take real issue with that. I really do. You know, I mean,
Right.
you've been, how long have you been sober?
3.5 years almost, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, it's tough. And I mean, the way he did kind of leave himself vulnerable, because if I was on Howard Stern and I go, if I was still a DBL, I'd still be drinking. Like,
But he said more than that, though.
I
Howard
know,
Stern's a 4-hour interview.
but
That's
in
not fair.
No,
That's
it's
not.
absolutely not. It's absolutely not. But that's what the clickbait is banking on.
Yeah.
That most people will not listen to the full context of the interview. Most people will not watch the full context of the stand-up set. So you're exactly right. It's weird and it shouldn't be, but I think a lot of times the interviewee has to prepare themselves to have answers that cannot be taken out of context like that, because he left himself vulnerable and Jennifer vulnerable, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think the media just set it up. Even after I read that story, you guys were like, I think it's when you bring up Ben Affleck now, you're just like, meh.
I don't-
Because the media kind of just points you that way. I don't know if it's fair.
I think he's a surly guy, and I think some people like that. I think she likes that a lot. I've said this from the beginning. I think J-Lo loves that. I think if there's a lot of sitcoms where the husband's kind of gruff and, you know, she pokes fun at him. I think that's a dynamic in a lot of relationships. Everything isn't cookie cutter.
Yeah, what are you going to do? All right, actor Kiwi Kwan is worried about being a one-hit wonder. He told Variety he's afraid his Oscar win will be a one-time thing. It usually is, buddy. He said he's already committed to a few projects but has no offers for future roles on the table. Kiwi previously said he quit acting for 20 years because no one would hire him. So that got us thinking about actors who won an Oscar but didn't work much after that. So who could forget Roberto Benigni's epic win for Best Actor for Life is Beautiful. I still remember that. That was back in 1999. Wow. He never really gained any traction in Hollywood and went back to making movies in Italy. Cuba Gooding Jr., I actually remember this too, gave a memorable speech after his win for Jerry Maguire, but a few years ago, he told Page Six, after his Oscar win, he acted in, quote, utter trash. His behavior off camera might have had something to do with it too.
Yeah.
Mira Sorvino never really became a bankable Hollywood star after she won Best Supporting Actress in 1996 for Mighty Aphrodite, and Halle Berry became the first and only black woman to win Best Actress in 2002. For Monsters Ball 2 years later, she bombed in Catwoman. So. Yeah, she bombed. It was horrible.
Bomb. The movie bombed.
Well, she was the star.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was a horrible movie.
You got to eat that if you're going to take, if you're going to get the
Ben Affleck, boo!
I never said boo to Ben Affleck.
Catwoman, boo. It stunk. Let's not pretend.
It was before its time.
Yeah. When is that time? Anyways, what do we think about winning an Oscar is a huge deal. I wouldn't, as an actor, think I'm going to repeat that at any point. That's the pinnacle. So, I don't know if it's necessarily.
Well, the Academy says that they get around 20 to 30% salary increase after winning an Oscar. I don't know where that number came from, but that's what the Academy said. As far as, we showed some examples of people that they didn't stop working. They just maybe weren't in as notable projects. So I'm hoping that Kiwi Kwan will continue to work. Who knows if it's going to be, this one-hit wonder of the Everything Everywhere All at Once, or maybe there's going to be spin-offs of that, or maybe, I don't know. I never finished Everything Everywhere All at Once. Could he even do like a sequel to that or no?
No.
Oh,
and
okay.
Erica,
Right.
I don't think it's, he's really, out of line for thinking that this may be it, because it might be.
Right.
It might be, and this shows you, even with an Oscar, how terrifying it is to be an actor.
Well, yeah, I think in this situation, because I think of Angela Bassett, who after her nomination for What's Love Got to Do with It said that she didn't get another leading offer for 18 years.
And that was in 93, right?
Right. So I think that some people need to think about the longevity pieces of this. Would you rather be in a situation where you're at least in the mix, and then there's 15 years later and you're not in the mix and then all of a sudden you are again? To me, that seems like a great career because you are still working. You're just not necessarily the box office draw, which the box office draw could not be the box office draw tomorrow.
And Jeff, every year he can go to the Academy Awards, so he's always going to be in the limelight. Once you're a winner and a nominee, you're always going to be on that stage introducing future nominees. So he's permanently, just like we saw Halle Berry this year, not to say she is off the map, but he will forever be in our eye line when the Academy Awards happen.
I think he's worried about how he's going to pay his rent in between Oscar ceremonies.
He's got gigs lined up, but I think
He said he didn't have anything to can.
Do you think some people make mistakes on saying, hey, I'm supposed to get paid this, when maybe you're not worth that just because you struck gold with that Oscar and you was the perfect performance at the perfect time? That's lightning striking. Winning an Oscar is lightning striking.
Right.
So maybe you get kind of a big head. You're like, I'm not taking that part. I'm too big for this part now. Or you're going to pay me this much for that. And then you do a Catwoman, again, not picking on her, and it bombs.
Right.
And
Feels like you're picking on her.
I know, but I was going to use Cuba, but I couldn't think of Sleigh Ride with the dogs.
Right. Oh yeah, snow
Cuba?
dogs. Snow dogs.
Is it Cuba?
Cuba?
Yeah.
Cuba.
I don't know.
Cuba?
I thought it was Cuba Gooding.
Either way.
Cuba Gooding? What are you laughing at?
Because I get everything wrong, and it just makes me feel seen when someone else may have gotten something wrong.
Can we
always
get a
get things wrong. It's not
pronunciation
like
on the older Gooding brother?
Yeah, is it Cuba or Cuba? Gooding Jr. Cuba. Cuba?
All right.
Later.
Sam threw an anchor in that ship. All right, coming up on DBL, our interview with comedian Margaret Cho. She's talking about her new movie, Prom Pact, and Erica is breaking down Blac Chyna's new look in her segment, What Erica's Watching.
Somebody roll the clip.
Let's make sure we have Jeff's sex tape.
Wow, things are getting spicy here at DBL. Cold-hearted snake, look into his eyes. Let's roll that again, everybody.
Oh, hey.
So apparently the correct pronunciation
Apparently, coming from someone who mispronounces everything, the correct pronunciation is Cuba. Cuba, not Cuba.
I've been
So-
saying Cuba for a long time.
You have?
Yeah, but I also think
Cuba.
It's
They
like,
checked. It's Cuba.
Isn't it like
I don't
almost
even
like a
care.
good movie is like a hit record?
What?
How many hit records can you expect to have? Like if you have
That's a good point.
If you're an artist, have you ever like looked up somebody's discography where you're like, oh, I want to download that one Nelly song, and then you look and you're like, oh, he's released 3 more albums I didn't even know about? It's because like, yeah, you have like 7 big hits in your career for a great career, and then the rest of it is kind of filler stuff. And it's the same with movies. Not everything's gonna be, you know.
How come we never saw the Italian guy?
Benini?
Yeah, at all the Oscars.
It's
But why isn't he?
super hard to get to that point. And
No,
I
but
think
how
people
come
just
he's not
think
at
like,
the Oscars anymore.
because he lives in Italy.
Oh, so he doesn't want to make the trip over and appear at the Oscars?
I haven't called him
for
lately.
publicity.
What publicity? He won 23 years ago.
He could be on stage at the Oscars every consecutive year. You don't think that's a good idea, publicity-wise, to be on the carpet, talking to outlets, getting up there, presenting an award? That is smart PR.
But is that gonna
But
get
his
people
movie
to
was
hire you?
Italian, so what is he?
So what? He's there every year. He needs to be. He's
ju-
messing up, in my opinion.
He's been messing up.
I don't know. She's very focused on this director,
I know.
Italian director. But yeah, I don't think it's that. I think if you get 1 or 2 great movies in your career, or just 3, you have 3 movies, that's amazing.
Yeah, me and Cuba. Yeah.
Welcome back. Was the king of pop a real gangsta? Which reality star is no longer keeping up with the Kardashians? And Disney is celebrating even more black girl magic. In this week's What Erica's Watching. DJ Quick is talking about his run-in with Michael Jackson. And the gangsta rapper is dishing on one of Mike's gangsta moves. Well, back in the day, MJ made Quick and his posse face a studio wall to avoid any eye contact with him, jacking Quick of his opportunity to meet the icon face to face.
So the door opens, poof. Then you just hear some penny loafers just, right? Running through the little thing. You turn around, you can see him like his little hair. When the door closes, it's like, oh, y'all cool. Y'all can turn around. Y'all, everything's cool. It's like, Mike didn't want nobody to look at him.
Now, Quick also pointed out that the moonwalking smooth criminal was actually affiliated with a rival gang. That's right, the Crips, who were actually on the set of Michael's The Way You Make Me Feel music video. Reality star Blac Chyna is one of the wealthiest OnlyFans content makers, but she's giving up that gig and has toned down her eye-popping curves. This week, she announced that she reduced her butt and breasts and warned fans to not get dangerous body enhancements like injections or implants.
This part of my life is like really important. You know, I'm changing, you know, and I want to grow old with my kids. I don't want to be, you know, deceased. I want to be with my kids. I want to have grandkids. I want to, you know, further my career, other things that I'm doing. And I just really feel like this is just really holding me back.
Now, this sounds like the beginning of her comeback season. Get this, the Kardashians' famed star has also given up stiletto nails as part of her life-changing journey. Now, I totally support Blac Chyna's transformation and, of course, her comeback season, but fierce nails ain't ever hurt nobody, okay? So Disney released new trailers for both Peter Pan and Wendy and The Little Mermaid live-action film. Now both feature grownish stars and are giving black girl magic. Hailey Bailey is making her big screen splash in The Little Mermaid, and Yara Shahidi plays Tinkerbell in the Peter Pan remake. Now Yara says that despite racist backlash for non-traditional casting, the overall response to being cast in a historically white role has been, quote, beautiful, because representation matters more. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBL Erica Watch. We'll be right back.
Sometimes it seems like the only thing as popular as TikTok is trying to ban TikTok. For years, lawmakers have feared that because the app is owned by a Chinese company, it could give the Chinese government influence over American users and access to their data. A bipartisan group of senators just introduced a bill they say is designed to address those concerns, and the Biden administration endorsed it. But could it actually result in a nationwide TikTok ban? Let's verify. Our sources: Senate Bill 686, Senator Mark Warner, the White House, the Department of Commerce, and the Department of Justice. The bill is called the Restrict Act, and it doesn't explicitly ban TikTok, but it makes such a ban possible. It instructs the Secretary of Commerce to investigate any information technology or communications companies that are owned or could be influenced by foreign adversaries to see if they pose a national security threat. Then it gives the Secretary broad authority to mitigate any dangerous transactions. So we can verify, yes, a bill currently in Congress could result in a ban on TikTok. But there are a lot of steps to get there. First, it has to pass the Senate and the House and be signed into law by the President. Then the Secretary of Commerce would have to choose to investigate TikTok specifically, find that it poses a threat, decide the best course of action would be a ban, and successfully defend that ban against legal challenges. As for how a ban would be implemented, we don't know for sure, but one option could be making it illegal for any American company to do business with TikTok. That would force Apple, Google, and others to remove it from their app stores. TikTok, for its part, says a ban would be a bad idea, calling it an act of censorship on its American users. Some lawmakers say they don't support a ban, but would like some restrictions on TikTok, which this bill could also allow. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Thanks, Mr. Harvard. Thanks for calling. I'll let her know right away. I'll explain later, honey.
Yeah, that wasn't Harvard. That was your wife.
No, it wasn't. It was totally Mr. Harvard.
It's not funny.
It is.
Welcome back to DBL. That was a peek at Margaret Cho's new movie, Prom Pact. Earlier, we caught up with her about Asian American representation at the Oscars, plus her friend Chris Rock's comeback. Take a look.
Hi, we're so excited to have you back. So let's talk about this because everybody has been talking about this from the weekend. A record-setting number of Asian Americans were nominated at the Academy Awards, and some actually took home the Oscar. So what does this say about Hollywood currently?
I wept when I saw Ke Huy Quan and Michelle when it, just so proud, so excited. Never knew that I would ever be able to see this happen. I cried. I got in a bar fight, which is why I didn't I got a punch biopsy. But I look like Nelly. I think it's getting Nelly. But it was like such a beautiful triumph. I think that we just never imagined. I just never did. But I'm so grateful for them. I'm so excited. So excited for Ali Wong's Beef, which is right around the corner on Netflix. And, we keep on going. And I feel like I am really witnessing this renaissance for Asian American actors, artists, comedians. It's truly incredible. I'm so grateful. And, whenever I see all of these wins, I realize, I guess what I did was make a difference. And it's so, I think, so gratifying. I just love what's happening, and I can't wait to see what's the future is going to bring.
Bravo. I also love your song, It's Getting Hot in Her. Nelly, I thought it's been too long. Thank you. I was waiting on it. I'm sorry for that long pause.
It's very Lisa Left Eye Lopez as well.
Oh, yes. No scrubs. Yeah. Speaking of representation, your character in your new movie, Prom Pact, is queer. Tell me, is this a coincidence?
I don't know. I guess so. Maybe. I think, it's really wonderful because I am also a gay. This hair is the most gayest hair I've ever had.
I love your hair.
Thank you. It's quite homosexual, and I really am no chance of going back in the closet with this hair, at least till it grows out. So I think it's, I love that I get to play this queer guidance counselor. I'm there, this movie is so great. Prom Pact is so fun. It's really another Asian American success story here with Peyton Elizabeth Lee, who's such an incredible star. She's also the new Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
From the Doogie Kamealoa. Did I say it right? It's very exciting to make this movie with her. I was on Doogie with her last year, so this was a great film, and I love how it really. If you love the sort of John Hughes, like Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, that whole like Breakfast Club, that whole oeuvre, this really is a great, really reference to that from an Asian American female perspective. It's so smart, so funny.
From one comic to another, I have to know how you felt about how Chris Rock addressed the slap on his stand-up special. We've all been texting about it, secretly.
Amazing. He played the long game. I'm gonna make people wait for this. And instead of making it this sort of like reactionary moment in social media history, he made this history. It's not social media history, it's history. Now he's like writing our culture as it happens, but our culture wants things so fast. He made us wait a whole year, and it was just such a dignified move. Really cool. The mic drop was incredible.
I love that. Yeah, shout out to Chris. He showed a lot of patience in that.
Yeah, I agree. So, Margaret, quickly before we go, what's the overall message behind your new Live and Livid tour?
We are here to protect
Live and Live It. Oh, man. They just told me that, too.
I like it. Live and Live It, Live and Live It. We're here to protect the trans community, the queer community, the drag queens. I want drag shows to keep going.
Yes.
I want to feel safe as a queer Asian American. I want to feel safe out there, and I want people to respect trans life, respect drag queens.
Amen.
Yes.
That's what the show's about.
And just live.
Be able to just live their lives.
Well,
Exactly.
embarrassing.
I'm so sad we have to go. There's cat towers in the background I wanted to ask about.
I'm actually quite
they're for the cats. Any other things we can clear up?
No. Margaret, thank you so much for joining us. DBL Nation Prom Pact premieres March 30th on the Disney Channel and is available to stream on Disney Plus on the 31st. Also visit margaretcho.com for her live and livid tour dates. Thanks again, Margaret. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Always great.
The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation has been around since the 1930s. It's a government-backed corporation that helps people get their money back up to $250,000 per depositor if the bank goes under.
To better understand the FDIC, we went to the FDIC itself, Yu-Jen Chu, professor of finance at Bell College, UNC Charlotte, and Anandi Banerjee, assistant professor of finance at Queen's University. The first question, does the FDIC cover all account types? According to the FDIC, it will only cover certain deposit accounts, like checking and saving accounts, money market deposit accounts, and certificates of deposits, cashier checks, and money orders.
It doesn't cover stock investments, bond investments, mutual funds, annuities.
The FDIC does cover qualifying deposits in some retirement accounts, like the traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, and self-directed 401k plans. So we can verify that no, it does not cover all account types. The next question, are all banks insured by the FDIC?
Most of the larger banks would be insured by FDIC insurance.
And those that are pay for that coverage.
To receive that service, they also pay a insurance premium to FDIC. So that's the FDIC's deposit fund. So FDIC usually use that deposit fund to pay out to depositors when a bank fails.
However, according to the FDIC, not all banks are covered and credit unions are not covered. So we can verify that no, not all banks are insured by the FDIC.
Now, we do have a link on our website on how to find out if your bank is insured. With your Verified, I'm Megan Bragg.
All of our technology could be leading to trouble on the road. Let's connect the dots. Data from North Carolina shows crashes involving tractor trailers are 3 times deadlier than crashes involving cars. The latest data from 2021 shows big rig crashes rose coming out of the pandemic, with more than 9,000 accidents in the Tar Heel state. That's up more than 2/3 from a decade ago. And online shopping could be playing a part. More packages means there's a need for more drivers out on the road. That, combined with distracted driving, with all of our devices nearby. North Carolina attorneys representing truck crash victims say they've been seeing a lot of folks not paying attention. But there are new steps to keep everybody safe. In just the past year, truck drivers now required to go through safety training to get their commercial license. But big rig drivers still facing scrutiny as trucks, traffic, and distractions make for dangerous roads. And that is connecting the dots.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. Keeping your car for as long as you can is a good way to keep your expenses down. It sounds like me, but when is the right time to replace it? That's today's Auto Alert, sponsored by Ox Car Care. Experts say that driving a car well past its prime can be dangerous, especially if its performance is impacted by weather. Spare parts can also be difficult to find, so you may want to replace your car when repairs start to cost more than it's worth. Ox Car Care is dedicated to providing you with an amazing auto protection plan experience that works with your budget. If you're looking for better car care, give them a call today at 800-946-5040. And before we go, we have one last story to sneak in here. Al, me and you were talking about this before. The Cure is taking on Ticketmaster and their extra fees. So the band's frontman, Robert Smith, told fans he was sickened after he heard about Ticketmaster's extra fees. A fan tweeted out their receipt for 4 tickets at $20 each, right? That's $80. But after all the extra fees, the price ended up being more than $172. Robert spoke with Ticketmaster. He was able to get fans a $5 to $10 refund. But this is becoming criminal, Al, at this point. This is ridiculous.
What they're doing is these package deals where they own basically the venue. So they charge the artists for using the venue. They then charge the patronizers that go. But, you know, there have been artists that said that they'll have things in their green room. Like if you wanted grapes and sparkling water, they charge you for that as the entertainer at the highest, at almost like hospital Band-Aid prices kind of thing. This is what happens. It's antitrust, and no one wants to talk about it because it's boring. This is what happens when there's a monopoly.
Yeah, they
Everybody's
monopolize
mad.
the market.
The artist is mad. The customers are mad. And this is what happens when we're dealing with goofy stuff, things like this, and now we just have one
To the
company.
point that the president is almost about to step in. I don't mean to get so serious on a Friday. Go drink some beers and complain to your congressman.
Yes.
Congresswomen.
All right, well, I'm fired, so I'll see you guys never. Have a great weekend.